Welcome to Podcast with Nanz. On today's episode, we'll be chatting to Super J. Hi, Super J. Welcome to Podcast with
Hi,
Nanz.
good afternoon. Nice to be here. How are you doing?
I am very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm always good, man. Nice to
Yeah.
be here.
Oh, that's good. How does it feel to be in the hot seat today?
Yeah, the roles have changed.
Yes, a lot.
Last time I was interviewing you, and today you finding out more about me.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. The last time we spoke, I was on your show. It was on Lens FM, the
Yes.
time of the Sea of Many Rivers.
Yeah.
And you helped me and you played a big role in helping me market that show and kind of get my ticket sales up. I mean, I always
It's
tell
a
the
real
story.
pleasure.
Yeah, I always tell the story of how it was just, I only had two interviews
Uh-huh.
during that time, you and with Amit.
Okay.
And between the two of you, I had 14 tickets sold, and the next time I looked, it was sold out.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of radio, social media, and media in general.
Yeah. So tell me, who is Super J?
Well, to start from the early days, I was born in Lenasia. Well, born in Fordsburg, and I think a month later, the family moved to Lenasia.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I grew up more with my grandparents. My early days, as my parents, they had to move to Eastern Cape just to help my granny when my granddad passed away. So
Okay.
grew up with them. And yeah, humble beginnings. My dad had to work two jobs. My mum also had to start working then just to get us through to school and varsity.
Yeah.
And then just before I could start high school, we were all back together as a family. Yeah.
Okay. And then when would you see your parents?
School holidays. They did try and take me there with them, but it wasn't my cup of tea. I didn't like it.
Didn't like the Eastern Cape.
No.
But the Eastern
It
Cape's
was
so beautiful.
Yeah, you see the thing is they were in a small town called Queenstown, and it was an Afrikaans-based school.
Oh,
I
I
never liked
see.
Afrikaans, so then they sent me to East London with some family members. I never liked it there, so then they said back to Joburg.
Wow.
Mm.
Okay. That's interesting. And where did this passion for radio come from? Because I know you a software BSc degree. You have a BSc degree in
Yes,
software.
computer science. Yeah.
Yeah. So where does radio fit in there?
Radio was my first love, and I think it will always be with me. So if you come to my funeral, just make sure you drop some albums into my coffin. Take it with me.
What?
Yeah, so no, and I think it's rubbed on from my dad. He's a lover of music. He loved his 60s and his rock and roll and his country. He knew the music, and I think that's why I'm familiar with these artists. In my show, I can, you know, get on the same level with some of the listeners when they talk about this, play the Elvis or Don Williams and
older
all
artists.
those. I mean,
Classic
I know
artists.
because he used to play it. So yeah, it's helped me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when did you figure out this passion? I mean, it's obviously not something that happened yesterday.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, but I think it's like when maybe Michael Jackson's Billie Jean came out. From then I like got serious. Before I should just listen and yeah, okay. But then my circle of friends, we always we used to buy imported LPs and
Okay.
swap music, copy and share the music, that type
Yeah.
of thing. And
Yeah.
then it just started growing. People used to ask us, "Hey, have you got this song? Have you got that song?" And one thing I can recall is when Lionel Richie's All Night Long came out.
Mm.
I remember that it was, I think, a program called Dia Aurora
Okay.
on SABC TV. On Monday they played it. The album haven't come out. Friday we had that stuff. We had the whole LP. Monday at school people were asking us, "Where's the songs?"
So where did you get that LP from?
we were
Had contacts.
yes, imported.
Wow.
Yeah.
Already
Yeah.
back in the day, you guys were
Yes,
already
yes,
importing
yeah,
music.
yeah. And from there it started, and then people used to ask, "Come play for my party," or "Come for this party." Yeah, that type, and that's how it grew.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I always thought there's a little man in the radio speaking to us. When you're 10 years or whatever, you don't know where's that noise coming from, how's it happening.
How? Yeah, nobody knows.
We don't know there's technology like this, a mic and whatever. So yeah, and then also, I mean, I had some influences listening to guys on the radio like David Gresham. He's one of my role models there from the old Springbok radio days.
Okay.
Yeah, then Alex J. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
Alex
known
J.
still to the guys, but I mean, those days, I mean, he was smooth, witty, and I enjoyed his intros of the songs. The way he brought the songs in resonated with me. Also, another guy was Casey Kasem. Those of you that listen to 702 music radio, not the talk radio,
Mm-hmm.
they used to have it as American Top 40 on a Sunday.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes, and that's a syndicate show. So that show was sold to all stations around the world. And the way he used to do it and read letters from people around the world, and so and he did it differently.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to say today, my show, The Weekend Wiggle, is also a syndicated radio show going around the world, which is good.
That's
I mean,
amazing.
following my role model somehow, it's worked out.
Yeah.
And then also, I mean, this Kevin Savage, he's also inspired me with the radio,
Mm.
and also many of the Radio 5 guys, I would say, not 5 FM, I must say that, not 5 FM, but Radio 5.
Radio 5,
'cause today radio in South Africa especially has changed too
Drastically.
much. And
Mm.
I don't even know how many people. I personally don't like to listen to South African radio because of the content and the way they play the music and what they speak about. It's totally different. Radio must be theater of the mind, make you imagine and take you back in time.
Yeah.
That's what it should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about you when you were growing up. What sort of kid were you?
What sort of kid?
Were you a quiet kid? Were you the naughty
Yeah, I was quiet and I could be naughty also.
kid? Yeah.
As I say, still water. You guys will know that it runs deep. Still waters run deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so quiet and naughty.
Did you play a lot of sport?
Not but bit of soccer, and I enjoyed swimming as well. So I played a few years with Swaraj, the Nation
Okay.
Soccer Club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
And you said to me in conversation previously that, radio for you started or it triggered at around 12 years old. How? How so?
I don't know. It's just like when you turn a radio and you feel like jamming or it changes your mood. It's probably something like that. It's and I should probably just like the way the personalities interacted with you, and I say, wow, I want to do that one day, and I always like to see how they introduce the next song, or we're going into an ad break. Maybe that resonated
So it's
with
all
me.
the creativity in
Yes,
between
yes.
that really
The story, even
gets
I
you.
mean, those days there used to be stories on the radio,
Yes.
so maybe all that resonated with me.
Okay.
Mm.
And so if it started that young and you were so interested in the creativity behind how radio was done, how did you grow that? Because I mean, you then went on to, you finished high school, then you went on to study this BSc degree of yours, IT degree.
So before that happened,
Yeah.
we had a double tape deck radio,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had another tape deck radio.
So you two tape decks.
So 3 tape decks.
Oh, 3.
So 2 to mix it, and the third one to record it. So it was indirect, but I mean that's how I started my mixing skills. There were no turntables or anything.
Yeah.
So with 2 cassettes, we should call it cut mixing. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I started mixing. Then I used to record my favorite adverts from the radio, and then I used to pretend like I'm doing my own radio show. So I'll play the music, talk in between, okay, radio ad, another song, that type of thing. That's how it grew.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
very interesting. And then, so it grew, and how did you then get into campus radio?
I just went there. I said, hey, I'm interested in the radio thing. They did auditions, and they say, yeah, we like you. Come on.
Was that it? Was it as
Yes,
easy
yeah,
as
yes,
that?
Yes, yeah.
And then after that, like, how did that?
After that, to get into commercial radio, and that was difficult.
Okay, so
Yeah,
tell me
so-
about a little bit about that. How was it difficult?
I mean, yeah, I used to send demo cassettes to a lot of the radio stations that time, and you never even hear from them. Thank you, we received your cassette or anything.
Yeah, and
At
that's
that time
it.
it was audition cassettes. Remember that?
Mm.
So there's no acknowledgement that they received it or nothing. You'll
Or
wonder
they
is
even
it
listen
lost
to
in
it.
the post. Yeah, and then I mean, I started with Solid Gold. Solid Gold is a radio station that was started up by Tony Sanderson.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a Chuckle and Chat show on TV, and also he was a 5 FM.
And what
radio
year was this?
personality. She's 70s or 80s.
That long ago?
Yes, yeah. So he started up the station called Solid Gold FM here in Randburg,
Mm.
and they had a commercial radio broadcasting course. So I applied for it and I did the course, completed the course. They said, "Hey, don't you want to join us?" I said, "Sure, why not?" So and then I had a Sunday breakfast show.
Wow,
Yeah,
already.
awesome. Yeah.
What was that experience like?
Ah, brilliant. I think they had about 10 million listeners.
10 million?
Yes. So we were giving radio. I'm not sure Radio 5 or 5 FM that time, but they were our competition. We were giving them a go.
A run for the
Yes.
money.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So it was old school. Well, that time it was 80s and 90s music, and whatever you said, immediately that phone call will ring and people will resonate with what you're saying. It was just a great atmosphere and environment to be in.
So while you were doing this, all this radio, I mean, you now did a course. During varsity you did radio, and then you went on to do a course in radio, and you now doing that. Are you still doing IT stuff on the
Yes, yeah,
side,
yeah.
or you
So,
doing?
so
So
yeah.
you were still
So I
working?
okay. If I can track back a bit, before varsity, after I finished matric, I don't know if you know the late Bob Mabena. Before he was even famous, I used to listen to Radio Bob. There was a station called Radio Bob, and I got in touch with them. Station manager then was Brother Edie. I contacted them, and I used to be in touch with Bob and George Maniosi
Okay.
very often. They used to do the breakfast show, and I even got to meet them. They said, "No, we're coming to Joburg." I got to meet them, and then they said, "You know what? We like your style, and then come and join us." But the only thing is, I had to go to Bopo to Botswana to stay there.
And
And there, my mother said, "No,
no
you
way.
need to get a degree. You need to study and something." And I mean, today I appreciate what she said and pushing me there because that's the paying job, right? And
Yeah.
then the radio is like
Passion.
your hobby. Yeah,
Passion.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Had you ever wished you'd done radio instead of your IT
No, I think
when you
it,
look
it
back?
goes. No, I think it goes hand in hand, especially today. Uh, I think my IT skills help me a lot with my radio skills. Even if you look up with this the setup here, you
Yeah.
need some of technology
Agreed.
information there, and yeah, no, I don't look back. And also, especially in South Africa, I think radio is not safe as a hobby because they can say your contract's ending in next month or
And
next
then
year,
what?
and then you're stuck. So I'm grateful to have the IT hat behind me as well.
Tell me about this the station that you have now, or the
And my radio show.
yeah, your radio show now.
Okay, so it started. Well, the Weekend Weagle started on local community radio in 1995. Stopped it for a while. Then I joined Lens FM and it went there. And then with COVID and that, we stopped going into the station,
Yes.
to the studio and that. And then I said, no, let me just do it from home. And then I saw there was an advert for a station in the UK looking for a presenter. So I said, hey, I got this show here. Do you want to do it there? He said, yeah, but can't you do it live? I said, yeah. I
Wow.
was live
So
and
they
from there it
just
happened. Yes.
sent through
Yeah, I
a
sent a
request.
demo or my Music Cloud link.
Yeah.
They listened to the show. They say, no, this is great stuff. We like it. We like your vibe on the show and everything. So when can you start? I say, when you want me. And it started. And from there, I contacted 2 more stations or so. Do you want the show? And then after that, people started contacting me. We like your show. Can we have it? I say, yeah, sure. You want it live or you want it recorded? Both ways is provided.
So what actually happens on this Weekend Wiggle?
So it's an old school show, dance type of show. But then I do slow down for the lovers to have their
Time.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, slow dance and that type of thing. Then I have some features on the show, like taking you back. Can you guess a tally tune? I'll play a old TV program. You gotta guess it. Then there's a song I play in reverse. There's other features I've got, like jumble the letters. Guess who's the
The
artist
artist,
and
yeah.
that type of thing. And I think it's the music and the people they enjoy it quite a bit. There's a lot of interaction from us. So I got to look at messages coming in from 14 different radio stations in 5 countries and yeah, and then it's live requests which you seldom get these days. I mean, they'll say, "Can you play this song here?" And they say, "Yeah, sure." And their song will be played in the show. It's live.
And is this all classic hits or what type of
Yeah,
music?
80s, 90s, Billie Jean, Michael Jackson, those type
Oh,
of things.
lovely.
I will go back to the Beatles sometimes, or Elvis. He'll ask for Mariah Carey, those type of things. Yeah.
Mm.
So now it's a full English show. Previously on Lens FM it was Bollywood and
Mixed.
English, but
Yeah,
now
mixed.
it's fully English.
Yeah. How has COVID affected you and this
And
whole?
uh, I mean, it's. I think the whole world it's affected. I mean, financially, what your work way, changing your lifestyle. I mean, it's affected all yes,
Substantially,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, I stopped doing. I used to do MC for gigs and things. So I mean, we even stopped that.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it has affected us. Yeah.
sure. And where to for your radio station? I mean, where would you like to see your weekend wiggle? Where do you want it to grow
Uh,
from here?
I like to get a big sponsor for it because at the moment it's just free. There's no sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe to Australia and Germany I would like to get. So
Why?
I'm very close. In Germany there's a lot of the great DJs there where they're mixing and all
Oh,
that
yes,
type of thing.
that's
So I
true.
like to get it there, Germany and Australia, just to get it
Broaden
into
the
another continent.
yeah,
Yeah.
broaden the spectrum.
Yes, because I know there's listeners in Australia. They do interact, but I'm not on the Australian radio station.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
broadcasting to them
Yes,
directly.
yes, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I know as a radio personality and a social media personality as well, you attend a lot of art shows and dance shows. And what is your opinion of the art industry currently,
My opinion of the art industry.
or the dance fraternity at
Mm.
large? I mean,
Dance, more dance. Well, look, there's always room for growth. Some of
mhm.
them are very innovative, and some people think they're good, but they're not good. Sorry to say that, but
Yeah, that's a
you
tough
gotta
pill
open
to
your eyes
swallow.
and see it. I mean, I can say, you're dancing very nicely, but when the 100 people see you there, and what nonsense is this? We
Yeah,
wasted our money,
exactly,
that type of thing. So,
exactly.
and be open to criticism. Some people don't like to take that criticism, listen to it. But then also on the other hand, there is some very good things coming out. Yoga is for one thing. I was speaking to your dad earlier, and I mean, it was a brilliant concept.
Yes, thank you. I'm looking for. I'm very open to criticism.
Mm.
So please provide me with some of that.
To start off, the name is very apt. I mean, I love it. Sea of many rivers. I mean, that's what we are. We're all going into one direction.
Yeah.
Um, Even the tree on your door on the glass I saw it reminded me of the sea of many rivers, right? Everything, all the branches are coming down to the root,
Mm.
and that's what it is. So I mean, yoga was very well done, but I would say is flow, like the flow of the river. Let it flow more.
Yeah.
Don't let the MC come in too much.
And
Maybe the
break it
MC
up,
can
yeah.
speak from the background, and coming up now is so and so. Don't go on stage and break it. As long as your participants are ready
Mm.
for the next item, they should just flow, run onto the stage and do their thing. The genre changes automatically, and they do the dance.
Yeah. So it needs to be a more seamless sort of
Yes, yeah.
transition. You're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like if you look at the Fame, the old TV program Fame, I think there you'll get the idea. They just rolled with it
Mm.
from one dance to another. The genre changed seamlessly.
Mm. What
Mm.
else do you think? Is there anything else that
For
you
you
can think
guys?
of? Yeah, for the Sea of Many Rivers.
Maybe get more genres from South Africa. I mean, we got 11 official languages, so maybe get some more of that.
Yeah.
And then the next step is going to be a big challenge for you. Don't just think South Africa, think global.
Mm.
I mean, get a Spanish dancer, Brazilian. I mean, imagine all those countries on one stage in 1 hour, 1.5 hours. A Brazilian dance, a Spanish dance.
Mm.
I mean,
We can
can you
expand the
just-
idea.
can you just picture that happening?
I
Yeah.
yeah. I'm
And
really
with
thinking about it.
technology today, I mean, you have a setup like this at another stage in somewhere in Spain, one in China. you just swap the cameras and or video mixing, right? So it will
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Mm.
So where to from here for you, Super J?
Yeah, I just want to grow the show, man.
Yeah.
That's all. Grow the show. You know why I say that it brings people together. It makes them happy. You know, things are stressful these days, and the show is like forget your problems
A form of
and that's what they
escapism.
do. That's what they do. Yes, and they look forward to it. 7 o'clock already. Say we're waiting, we're waiting. 'Cause my show starts at 8 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah, so you know the requests start coming in and that's what I love. And it brings them joy, and that's what we need.
And it brings you joy because I can tell
Yes,
from,
yes, for sure.
just from
Yeah,
the way you speak about radio
yeah.
that there's a lot of
It's
passion for it,
yes.
and um, and perhaps also a sense of having a positive impact on the lives of other people through radio.
And music has power. Even when I did the course at Solid Gold,
Mm.
Tony, he played different types of music. You know, you play a sad song and you could feel the coldness in the room. The next minute he played a vibey song and you can see the smiles on everyone's faces. That's the power of music.
Mm.
And that's why I respect music. It's like a god to me. You know, it can make you happy, it can make you sad, it can take you back 20 years, 30 years.
Yeah,
You know, take you to your school days. It brings memories.
yeah,
Good and bad, but it brings memories.
agreed.
That's what it is, yeah.
100%. So, can you do us? I know you have a radio voice,
Yeah.
and I love it. I love it. I mean, the first time I heard you, I was quite shocked. Can
Okay.
you do us a little bit of that radio voice?
No, I'm so shy, man.
No, please.
Okay, hi, this is Super J, and you are listening to the podcast with Nanz.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And Subhajit, what message would you like to give people out there? If you had to give a personal message, just a general message to the people out there, what would you say to them?
Be yourself, be unique. Don't put yourself down, and believe in the God. No matter what religion you are, believe in God. He's there and He will guide you.
100%.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for joining me on today's
pleasure.
podcast. It was lovely getting to know you a little bit better.
Uh-huh. And thanks for the opportunity. It's been great.
Yeah, awesome. Thank
I
you,
wish you
Subhajit.
guys all the best and looking forward to another sea of many rivers.
Oh, yes, definitely. It's coming soon, I promise.
Okay, cool.
Thank you so
Thank
much. Thanks. Thank you for joining me on today's podcast with Nanz. My conversation with Super J has been truly inspiring. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment box below, as well as follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, as well as Spotify. See you guys next time.